Hey guys, Isabella here, and today we're going to be reading Things You Only Notice About Harry Potter as an Adult. Is Harry Potter a whole world of magic and amazement, butterbeer, and chocolate frogs? Yes, the Harry Potter seems like such a wonderful place until you start really thinking about it. Like, like a lot of other popular family-friendly entertainment, this franchise incorporates a variety of elements that could easily sail past kids in the audience while leaving everyone else wondering if what we saw, if they really just saw what they thought they saw. This series may have originally been written for children, but it quickly transcended age constraints to the cast its spell on a generation of followers. While some younger readers and moviegoers might be completely under the saga spell, grown-up fans have a harder time ignoring some of its weird and sometimes risque details. From just names and infuriating character choices, here are some aspects of Harry Potter series that take on a whole new meaning for the adult audience. Everyone is totally okay with slavery. The saga of the Harry Potter house elves has got to be one of the series' most disturbing elements. Dobby, Creature, and the host of these other big-eyed creatures somehow found themselves enslaved by members of the wizarding race. And even more malevolent witches and wizards seem relatively unbothered by the barbarism, I think I butchered that, of the practice. To make matters even worse, it's also unclear as to why these powerful mages would even need to live in the help like this in the first place. The Weasleys' house would get along just fine without the indentured servitude in sight, since there are spells that apparently do the dishes, put away the laundry, and such. However, the Malfoys or even the Blacks have considered these poor beings to a life of labor. Once estuary outsiders like Harry Potter and Hermione come into fold and decide to free the house elves from their mystical bondage, it becomes even clearer how wrong everyone else has been to let these house elves suffer in silence for too long. Number 2. Dumbledore is a Machiavellian sociopath. Dumbledore might be the most revered headmaster in the Hogwarts history, and he's certainly willing to play the father figure to Harry at a time in his life as he desperately needs moral and magical guidance. However, that doesn't mean his character didn't have a tragic flaw or two. As we find out in the end of the series, Dumbledore knows from the start that Harry's journey to Hogwarts as a kid is doomed to die at the hand of Voldemort. It's simply part of his fate, part of the prophecy that spells out the Dark Lord's ultimate demise. So he has no choice but to guide this child in becoming the best fighting wizard he can, so he can get a shot at saving everyone with a self-sacrifice. That's all well and good, but that doesn't mean he has to send the poor boy into grave danger every single year. From hiring well-to-do professors like Remus Lupin to professionally ushering Harry into foreboding territories to track down Horcruxes and making him sit and watch as his favorite teacher dies right in front of him, well, it's all pretty cruel if you think about it. Number 3. Slipping someone a love potion isn't a big deal. In the Muggle world, slipping someone an intoxicating substance without their permission is a punishable offense, especially if it's something that's likely to make him or her amenable to the person's, shall we say, romantic whims. In the magical realm, however, no one seems particularly bent out of shape with the idea of a wizarding depriving one another of their free will by way of love potion. The administration of the spell can be tricky, of course, as Ron Weasley we all know too well, but there doesn't appear to be any strict firm rule against dabbing someone with this magic elixir and making them putty in one's hand and heart. Weasley's Wizarding Wheezes even keeps a love potions stocked on their shelves, which indicates that the potion is regarded more as a device of mischief than a very dangerous mind-altering drug that it is. Clearly, even highly advanced wizarding community has a thing or two to learn about consent. I forgot what number already. For school, Hogwarts makes a great morgue. Parents entrust their children to schools which are supposed to be safe havens where kids can learn and grow. And then there's Hogwarts where the motto is, F that. It's bad enough that you could get crushed by a troll, impaled by a hippogriff, or even eaten by a giant carnivorous spider. At least those would be sort of be accidents, but the faculty at Hogwarts goes out of the way to intentionally put their students in danger, like the Triwizard Tournament, where they were having their kids living bait for dragons and mermaids. What the heck were the adults even thinking? Next one. Destroying a person's soul should be counted as cruel and unusual punishment. It's kind of easy to gloss over the implications of the Dementors, but let's take a close look at these monstrosities just for a moment. So the Wizards in Harry Potter universe have empirical proof that souls exist. And what do they do with this knowledge? They set up a police force consisting of abominations that actually eat your freaking soul. Forget life in prison or even the death penalty. Destroying souls as a form of punishment goes as beyond cruel and usual. There's barely any words I can't read that word. Enough to describe just how downright evil it is. Are these are the good guys? I think I'm literally dying because I can't read anymore. Does Hogwarts even run background checks on teachers? Werewolves, killers, incompetent fools. No, we're not talking about the Death Eaters here. We're talking about the faculty at Hogwarts. You think they have a pretty high priority to keep these kinds of dangerous nuts away from students, but Dumbledore and the school board actually do the exact opposite, making one insane hire after another fill their open teacher positions. Just more evidence that Hogwarts is the worst school in the universe, magical or not. I mean, yeah. I mean, technically the only freaking teachers that get replaced is DADA, but I don't know how that turns out. The Ministry of Magic is a fascist dream. If the Dementors seem something like out of the fascist Orwellian nightmare, there's a good reason for that. Because that's exactly what the Wizarding Society is. For the Big Brother watching you, thanks to magic, the Wizarding government can literally see and hear every single thing you do. And they're keeping very close tabs. Remember the notice Harry received for underage use of magic? How about the Marauders map showing everyone's location and activities at all times? People operating at will into your living room or bedroom. There's no such thing as privacy in the Harry Potter universe, and that's how the Ministry of Magic likes it. The fat shaming was fierce. It got some laughs out of a lot of readers, but the way J.K. Rowling wrote about Dudley Dursley in the earliest installments of Harry Potter series was quite troubling. Although she had plenty of faults to choose from while writing about Harry's spoiled cousin, she paid a lot of attention to the fact that he was portly, or as she wrote it, the size of a young killer whale. Description of the Dursleys' pigly little eyes and his resemblance to his pig in a wig read as especially cruel and necessary in the retrospect, even if Rowling had insisted she was against fat shaming. You know, J.K. Rowling is fucking awful. Sexual innuendos were everywhere. The Harry Potter series was massively popular with kids, so it may come to a surprise that certain aspects of the books seem a little NSFW upon review. For starters, there's Engorgrio spell, which seems to double Enterde, and seems to be the only explanation for how Hagrid's father made a whoopee with a giant ass. There's the fact that all of these are teenage students that have no sexual education coursework at all, and some have traced the timing of Nymphatora Tonk's conception to her parents' teen years, giving her already suggested name even more significance. Rowling herself even said that she didn't have to encourage teen pregnancy in the story, but thanks to a dirty Easter egg in the Marauders map from Prisoner of the Azkaban movie, which showed two students getting busy in a corner. We all know Hogwarts can get pretty steamy. Really? I didn't see that. I gotta watch it now. I didn't see that. What? Am I just dumb? Oh, okay. People really wasted their talents and tools. As creative and thorough as Rowling was, there are some aspects of the stories that are really frustrating in hindsight. Snape had the gift of legitimacy, for example, but didn't bother using it to find out about Bartimus Crouch Jr. using Polyjuice Potion to disguise himself as Mad-Eye Moody in the Goblet of Fire, which cost the life of poor Cedric Diggory. Hermione's time tuner could have been used as far more important things over other things than overloading her school schedule and springing an animal from execution. Harry could have probably used that luck potion for the grander picture of defeating Voldemort, and Minerva's shape-shifting skills should have given her an upper hand in the undermining Dolores Umbridge, who just so happened to be a sucker for cats. Instead, all of these elements just came in way unceremoniously during more trivial moments of convenience, despite the fact that they were all in an all-out war motion. And let's not forget how casually Dumbledore gifted Harry the 1-3 Sacred Deathly Hallows, the Cloak of Invisibility, long before he could come anywhere near appreciating its true value. Okay, there's a couple more. Harry Potter is kind of a skis. Whether or not it's within the bro code of Harry Potter to hook up with Ron's sister Ginny, he was kind of still a jerk when it came to decision to move on Cho Chang in the Order of the Phoenix. Cho had been in a relationship with Cedric Diggory in the Goblet of Fire, and after he died, she was pretty broken up about it. Instead of considerably consoling his friend whose boyfriend's body he literally held in his arms and giving her time to grieve, he maintained his initial interest in courting her. Sure, she had some feelings for Harry too, but that kiss shouldn't have happened. It served him right that he didn't get to enjoy it because all the tears she was shedding for her beau at the time. Gross. Yeah, I don't... He's kind of a jerk for doing that. The Weasley twins were weirder than they seemed. Yeah? And the prisoner of Azkaban, the Dark Lord's sniveling sidekick Peter Pettigrew was eventually spotted alive and well on the Marauders map that Fred and George had been holding onto, which is how he was ultimately discovered to be disguised as Ronald's pet rat Scabbers. But if he was visible on the map and the Weasley twins had full access to it, and in the theory he would check in on their younger brother once in a while, they had to know he had unexpected company in his room each night and just ignored it. The Weasley twins might have seemed real good pranksters, but in a way it's more messed up in inventing a mischievous item that, like, poo and anti-gravity hats. Looks like they made good on their oath to be up to no good. Moaning Myrtle was a perverse poltergeist. Oh my god, how many are there? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, there was like a million left. There's like 2 more. Moaning Murder. Her situation was not entirely enviable. Just as the basilisk gets loose from the Chamber of Secrets and starts stunning students in their petrified state, somehow Colin Creevy, Hermione Granger, and the others just so happen to be looking through lenses when they encountered the scaly beast. We find out that the bathroom-dwelling poltergeist Myrtle wasn't quite so lucky that it lost her life upon catching the serpent's visage. That said, her sob story is no excuse in how she tends to treat the living. Sure, she might get lonely since kids largely step away from her bathroom, but she has a strange tendency to play peeping Tom on any of the boys who dare come into her washroom. Both Cedric and Harry suffered her prying eye. I know it doesn't make her any better. It doesn't make it any better that she helped them resolve the mystery of the golden egg. What's worse is that her name takes on a whole new meaning when you consider her twisted tendencies. To think this is a kids series. Yeah, Hufflepuff sounds like a stoner house. The Harry Potter series was never shy about its professors puffing on pipes or taking potions that would help enhance their abilities or mindsets. So it is too far of a stretch to interpret the Hufflepuff house to be that one might consider April 20th an annual holiday. After all, the kids that were often sorted into the house were some sort of scenery or blissful students of the Hogwarts bunch, and they often excelled at the students of herbology. Yes, herbology. They also loved to laugh, and their house was located with a prime access to the kitchens, which meant midnight munchies were just a one's throw away. And considering how much thought and cultural meaning the author J.K. Rowling put into every single syllable of her proper noun array, it's hardly seemed like a coincidence that her very title of the house sounds like some kind of whimsical euphemism for herbology. And the last one. Animals are people too. Little, furry, expendable people. Many muggles might treat their four-legged friends like they're the wordless fur babies and who have just as much emotion and integrity as those two-legged types. But the world of witchcraft and wizardry, that is actually the case with Animalia. From the get-go, we learn that animals are needed in I know the word, but I can't say it. Anthropomologized. I fucking butchered that. Oh well. With Harry's genetic gift of parcel tongue, revealing the bored soul of a zoo snake. Then we meet the giant spider Aragog, who has true feelings and loyalty for his friendship for his former caretaker Hagrid. There's also the giant dragon, who seems to have the intuit of the good guys from the bad guys as he lays waste of Gringotts Bank and gives the trio a lift to safety. Even those animals whose souls are still special, for example, Hedwig might not talk to Harry, but she sure does have an knack for following his verbal orders, so it's a little weird that the most serious animals are treated like, well, animals, while Hagrid is largely considered a gentle weirdo for getting so close to his pets. I literally feel like my brain doesn't work anymore, so I apologize if that was super hard to read. I normally don't have problems reading. I think I just have a problem reading out loud, honestly. And that's probably another fucking problem that I have. Anywho, I hope you all enjoyed. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. Also, the bell so videos which is daily. I love you guys. Thank you for everything. And I guess I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.